Hello, this is Janelle Lake, Fiber Studio Manager, and we're going to go over a few safety reminders and tips about the sergers. If you have threaded one of these sergers, you will know how long it takes. So if you see that your spool of thread is running out, don't let it run out. When it's getting down pretty low to the point where you can see parts of the cone, you just want to cut it from here, from the beginning, so that you don't have to rethread it. And you're going to grab another spool of thread and create a simple knot. And then continue sewing. It'll just sew right through the knot. And that way you can avoid threading it ever. Just a reminder of the on and off. O does not mean on. O means off. On is the dash that's horizontal. So if I press this inward, you see that it lights up. This would mean that the machine is on now. They're really quiet. They're pretty actually silent when you're not moving. So please make sure that when you're done sewing or when you're threading that the machine should be off, which is clicking O. The light is off. Okay, and most tables with the industrials and sergers have a drawer. The drawer contains a few items, including extra needles. You want to make sure that on the back of the case, it either says DC times 1 or DC times 27. So that's how you know that they are for sergers and not for normal Bernina household sewing machines. They take different needles. You need to provide your own scissors. You should definitely own a pair of scissors. In the drawer, you'll also find tweezers. They're really helpful to help you thread. You will have a variety of small screwdrivers. So when you need to replace a needle, which should not be often, like say the needle breaks, you will see a screw that's on the left-hand side of the needle that you will just gently unscrew, take the needle out, and put a new one in, screw it tight. We will also have these needle threaders that should be in the drawers too to help you thread. If you ever break a needle, you want to find a sharps container. A sharps container is a red container that usually says biohazard on it, sharp safety. You can move this to open and close. Most of the time it should be closed. Clockwise is how you can move it. You want to drop in the broken needle in here, and this way no one gets hurt when they're taking out the trash, especially if there's any blood involved, like say you cut yourself on it. You want to put anything sharp that is broken or sharp in general that is waste into the sharp containers. They're mostly on the windowsills in S201. There's one set in the dye kitchen. And so please don't put them in the trash. Hi, my name is Janelle Lake, Fiber Studio Manager, and we will be talking about how to thread the Juki Sergers. And the first step is getting access to the inside of this machine. This table kind of comes apart. You can kind of see the slit where it is. You can just lift it up. Place it over. Now, using this lever, you can move that arm out of the way. And below here, there's another lever. If you press it inward, down, you will be able to move this. Also, you need to see what's under here. So if you just slide it to the right and then pull it down, we now have access to all the points of threading. Hi, this is Janelle Lake, Fiber Studio Manager, and we will be threading the Juki Serger, and we're starting with threading the right needle. So you want to make sure that you have a spool of thread. All of the sergers in the department should have full spools of thread. Please visit the tool crib if you are running low. It is also really great if you have tweezers, scissors, and a needle threader to help you get through these tiny spaces. Okay, now that our machine is opened up, we're going to start with our first spool of thread. I like to cut the ends to make them fresh and crisp so that they're not fraying. We're going to go up and we're going to come from the back to the front on this first hole. We're going to come down and we're going to make kind of like an S loop on this metal rod. So starting on the right side of the hole, going down, coming back up into the left hole and down again. We're going to keep going, and on the furthest left side, again, we have 2 more holes. We're going to do the same thing, except it's kind of front to back, back to front. So we're going to start in the back to front on the right hole. We're going to come up, back to front on the left hole. Okay, now we're going to go back to front on this hole. And now this is 2 tension plates. We're going to go clockwise in between the 2 metal plates. We're going to come down. There's another hole, top to bottom, we're going through. Okay, and we're going to try to follow the color-coded system, so it's like an orangish dot. We're threading the needle. Everything's going to be in the upper position. We're not looking below the serger. So we're going to try to go through these 2 small holes at the same exact time. It'd be really great if we can do it. And we did. Okay, we're going to continue following our color-coded system of the orange dots, and we're going to go through this next hole front to back. Try to aim towards the left. It's easier to grab the thread. And now there's a few guides we need to go down to get to the needle. So it's above this screw. We're just going to send our thread down. And then there are these 2 metal small little bars. There's a slit in the center. We're going to put our thread behind that. And now we can thread the needle. So the needle kind of has a hole that's front to back. We're going to go front to back. If you need your needle threader, it might be helpful when you are struggling like I am right now. So you put your needle threader through the needle first, and then your thread, and it should pull it through. And now the needle is threaded. Hi, this is Janelle Lake, Fiber Student Manager, and we are continuing threading the Juki Serger. We are now moving on to the spool that is color-coded with yellow. It is the 3rd from the left or the 2nd from the right. For a 3-spool overlock stitch. We have our spool of thread. Again, if you need more thread, please visit the tool crib. First, we're going to come up, and starting in the back, we're going to go through a hole. We're going to come down to our metal rod that has our holes, and we're starting from right to left, so going in the furthest right hole, downward, and we're making an S around it. So then coming back up and going from top to bottom on our left hole. Okay, we are dragging this over, and again we have to do another S wrap around, but we're going from back to front. So starting on the right hole, back to front, coming up, back to front on the left. Okay, we're on yellow. Pay attention to the colors. We're going to go back to front on this hole right before the tension plates. We have again the 2 tension metal plates. We're going to go in between clockwise. At the bottom of this, there's another hole. We're going from front to back. There is a white rubber coated hole. We're going to go down, top to bottom. Okay, and now the yellow guides have the most. For most of these, we're always starting top to bottom or from right to left in the hole. So the first yellow dot is right here, top to bottom. Okay, and we're moving downward. You can see we're near like the blue codes, but there's a couple yellows. So we're gonna start from right. So we're gonna go up and then to the left. So right to left. We're gonna go up to this upper one, right to left. We're gonna come down and we're gonna go behind the blue. So if the blue is already threaded, we're gonna make sure that they don't create an X. I'm gonna go from front to back on the yellow. And I'm gonna grab my tweezers to help me grab it. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we're moving upward to the other yellow coated. We're gonna go front to back. Again, I have my tweezers. And now we're gonna get in an under area, kind of near the needle. There's a arm that has 2 holes. So the first hole on the right hand side kind of goes right, from the right to the front. And then on the left hand side of the arm, we're going front to back. Look at those fingers. And we're just gonna leave a tail and let that chill. Hello, this is Janelle Lake, Fiber Studio Manager, and we are almost finished threading the Juki Serger. We're now moving on to the color-coded blue, the furthest right spool of thread. So you want to, of course, grab a spool of thread. It should already be loaded, but if it isn't, please visit the tool crib. We're going to come up and from right to left, go through this hole. We're going to come down to this metal rod that has sets of 2 holes. We're going to make another S loop starting from right to left. We're going to come down top to bottom. We're going to come up into the left hole, top to bottom. Over to the machine, another S loop around the 2 holes on the furthest right hand side, starting on the right hole to the left, from back to front. So back to front on the right, we come up, back to front on the left. We can now go from back to front on the hole right here. And again, we have these 2 metal tension plates. We want to have the thread go in between those clockwise. We want to come down. There is another hole at the bottom of this. So we're going to go from front to back or top to bottom. We have a white rubber hole. We're going to go from top to bottom. And now we are following the blue coated holes. So we're going to go from top to bottom or right to left. So top to bottom, starting on the right hand side. The next one going from right to left would be this hole. So right to left through. Okay. The next one is right here. We're going to go from front to back. The blue coated thread should be in front of the yellow threaded. So we're not going to go behind the yellow. So I'm going to grab my tweezers. Okay. We're in front again of this pink thread that is for the yellow. Okay, now there's another set of arms that kind of go under the feed dogs, underneath the needle area. If you can kind of see this hole, we're going to go from front to back. And I'm actually going to go in with my tweezers on the left hand side to try to catch it because we're going to the left next. Aha. Now that we're on the left-hand side, we're going to go from back to front. There's a hole on the left-hand side. I'm going to get my needle threader actually because it's a very small hole. Okay, let's see if I can get this through. Almost. It made it through. I'm going to use my tweezers to grab it. Okay, and now we're going to come back over to the right-hand side. And you see this even smaller tiny hole on this arm. So we're coming from left to right in front of that arm. I'm going to send it this way and have the tweezers catch it on this side. Okay, we will go from front to back. Great. So now you should have 3 threads threaded. So 1 thread, your furthest left that we did, should be going through the needle. And then we should have 2 more threads. In our case, it's the pink and the green that will just come out near the feeding dogs. And we want to leave long tails for when we start sewing.